Yay!
Are we on?
Yeah,
we're
on.
Hello!
My name is Hannah.
And I'm Shelby.
I'm an intern here at Nano HQ.
And I am your operations manager.
So, we're here.
We're here! Blobby's here. The ducks are here.
Nano board representatives are here.
And you're here.
Thankfully.
Welcome.
Yes. So, today we will be doing a virtual write-in. So if you guys are new here, virtual write-in is basically a timed prompt that we all write together, and we will give you optional prompts to write along with us. And I know last week we gave an assignment. I see a few people in the chat that are here from last week.
Some familiar faces.
Yeah, so we did a
Morning.
6-word story. If you guys did any of those, please put them in the chat. We said you could do a 10-word story telling of your character telling another character your story. That was awkward to say. But yeah, if you guys want to share those, we'll read a couple of them out. But while we wait for everyone to come in, we have a warm-up prompt. I brought my blanket today. To keep warm.
The July heat isn't quite enough.
No, it was very cold today.
It was. Yeah, we're in the fog line for sure.
Yeah, I turned my heater in my car on this morning.
Never a good sign in July.
No. So, for the first prompt, we'll give us about 5 minutes for everyone to come in. But take 5 minutes to describe everything around you. Just what are you seeing, smelling, get all the creative juices flowing, and we will start that now.
And how long are we doing this?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
So we have about a minute left. If you guys want to share your favorite line in the chat, we'll read a couple out. That is
That's it.
time. So I see a couple people are sharing them in. And for the people asking if Blobby ate today, he did. He actually had me post on Twitter earlier his croissant and coffee that he had.
Yeah.
And Nano Interns do have a Twitter. It's just Nano Interns. But we couldn't find croissants for Bastille Day this morning.
Oh, is today Bastille Day?
It is Bastille Day.
Oh.
So he had a scone.
I mean, oh, Blobby, one day you'll learn.
So he really wanted a croissant, but that scone was pretty big, so he's pretty full.
He had half of my hard-boiled egg too.
Yeah, so he's been eating. So we have a couple.
Let's see what you guys came up with.
So I have Julia Peterson said, "Vain." My reflection says, that's good, and selfish too. Bitter about giving up my destiny, your destiny. Stupid. Getting Everin. Sorry if I butchered that. A trap like that. Yes, that was stupid.
Okay.
And then Alex Owen got to 247 words. So in the Many Words Club.
Nice.
And Alex Owen said, strangely, in the room, there is an urn. I asked my husband about it once and said it belonged to his grandmother. I moved this urn because my son is crawling to it and trying to open it. We don't want the urn opened on all over the place. That would be bad.
What's inside the urn? I think that's the other mystery there. There's many layers in that one sentence. I like it.
Yes. So Bob Bala got to 90 words, so under 100 words club.
I'm also in the under 100 words club. I got 92.
I got I don't know. I got 27. so a lot of under 100 words and many words clubs today. So if you...
This is only the beginning.
It is. No nano bird yet, though. So if you guys are just coming in, we're going to move on to our topic for the day. We are focusing on setting.
That was my drum roll.
We really need sound effects. Just like a button or that works. So, setting is a pretty integral part of your story. It doesn't...
Indeed.
I know a lot of stories aren't so setting heavy, but I feel like setting's pretty important and can play big in your scenes, especially if it's in a dark alley.
I think even if you don't mean for the setting to be super important, it becomes very important, even if you're writing a more character-driven story, I find a lot of characters they're so tied to the place where they come from or the place where they are or to where they're going that setting becomes super, super important. So
I know in my novel, it's in a beach town.
Yeah.
So everything is pretty much centered in that little area. It becomes pretty important.
Yeah.
But setting can set the tone for your novel. But I guess you need to remember that setting's not just a place. It's smell. It's what everything feels like. It, what time period it takes place in.
Even the time of day.
And time of day, yes. That's very important. So that's going to lead us into our first word sprint. We're going to write for about 7 minutes. So like we said, time of day
is a really big deal.
it can definitely affect a scene in a novel. Walking around at like 5 in the morning is completely different than walking around at like, 5 at night. Mm-hmm. The surrounding areas change, characters change, and other things change. So our prompt is your main character is walking somewhere familiar and you're setting your story at 3 in the morning. Describe your character's surroundings, what they're sensing, seeing, hearing, feeling, smelling, maybe even tasting. Is your character scared? Maybe they're brave. Perhaps it was their plan all along to end up here at this time. So interesting. That will be 7 minutes. If you guys want to share your favorite lines that are 1 minute warning, we'll read them out, and we will start now.
Awesome. And these prompts are always optional. So always if you don't want to follow it,
then just give us your word count at the end of the 7 minutes.
Okay.
I forgot to announce the 1 minute. I guess I was so into
so
what I was
enthralled.
writing. So you have 30 seconds. Please share your favorite line in the chat if you would like. That is time. If you want to finish up what you're on,
count your words,
share your word count. That's good too. So, I have a couple coming in that we'll read out. I'm not copying the entire chat this time. Hopefully. I seem to do that a lot. I wrote 139 words.
Nice. I got to 164.
That's good.
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah. Considering my word count definitely, fell over the weekend.
Yeah.
It didn't increase at all.
This is probably the best thing about doing these on Tuesdays is you get you're over your Monday, so you can get back on track after maybe a less productive weekend. I didn't write a thing. It's not good. So I'm catching up this week. I'm gonna do it.
I didn't write either at all. So
what do we got?
Amanda Weimar at 204 words. That's nice. Awesome. Kiwana Wolf at 81, so 100 words club. Yeah. That's good too. Any words is better than no words. Then I have Lily Swan said, the moon is shining into Serena's eyes in the way that they look like the glittering ocean. That's really pretty.
I like the contrast of the moon and the ocean.
Mine had an ocean too.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and then Sarah Haycock said, far away, somebody staggering out of the Winchester shouted something that sounded faintly like, I love you, but otherwise all was silent.
Oh, what does that mean? Is that like the Winchester Mystery House? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know.
Tell us. Let us know.
Yeah. Then, sorry if I butcher your name, Deanie G at 222 words.
Nice.
And since you're writing in German, I don't know German anymore.
I'm sure if you share, there might be a few people who will understand. So feel free. Don't let it stop you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read it out though. I'll just butcher everything, and the 2 years of German I took it would be bad. We'll share out one more.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So Sarah Rellini, this was your sentence. Outside it was dark, as it should be for 3 a.m. The birds seemed to be asleep, but that didn't mean it was quiet. The cicadas were keeping the night song alive. Oh,
I like that a lot.
I like that. I like it too. I was thinking alive. The cicadas, right? I've heard it. Cicadas.
I heard they're terrifying.
I don't. Oh man, that's my least favorite sound actually. So I'm having a very strong reaction to your sentence right now. Just that, is it supposed to be as eerie as I'm feeling it right now? Because it feels very eerie to me. If so.
I've never heard of it. I've heard of cicadas, but I've never heard the sound.
If it's what I'm thinking it is, it's that pulsing, it's just, for me it feels like the air is pulsating around you and it has that sound and it's very specific. I'm hoping I'm getting this right. If I'm not, let me know. I'm doing a completely incorrect close reading.
And now we have German in the
chat. I never studied German, so
I did a long time ago, 8th grade. So I guess that would mean we're going into our second word sprint. So.
All right. I have my script. So this one's a little interesting. In my novel, I'm writing it in Oakland, which is where I live. Maybe some of you are also writing your stories in real places. Maybe some of you are writing them in fictional places. So sometimes when you put a character in a situation that maybe doesn't actually exist or that they've never actually been into, you can find new ways for them to be and to experience their setting. So here's our prompt and our sort of challenge to you. Place 2 of your characters in a brand new made-up setting. It could be a new planet, a made-up country, an alternate universe, or something like a dystopian or post-apocalyptic future. So how do your characters interact in this new world? And what do they see or hear or smell or say? And how does it affect their goals that you have set for them in your story?
As always, they're totally optional.
Totally
if it
optional.
doesn't work for you, then just write along with us and tell us your word count.
I'm going to give it a try. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Yeah, I don't know how different I want to go for this.
Yeah, I mean, mine is tough because my setting is really integral to my story. So changing it up is going to change it in a really big way. We'll see what happens next.
We'll see.
All right.
So
7 minutes.
7 minutes right now.
And we'll try to remember to give you a 1-minute warning.
Yeah, it won't be a 30-second warning this time. We're at about our 1 minute mark this time. So if you want to finish or send your favorite sentence into the chat, we'll read a couple out. That's time. So that took an interesting turn.
Yeah? Where did you end up?
In an empty warehouse, but nothing bad happened to them.
Oh,
because I can't fit mine's a very general just best friend YA novel. Mm-hmm. So it's not like I could have them just randomly plop into a different world because it's not fantasy or sci-fi. Yeah. So they just end up waking up in a warehouse after a night of partying, and the best friend thinks they're locked in, but she's like, "Have you even tried the door yet?" And then they're able to get out. They just ended up in there.
Yeah, I put my people into the somewhat near distant future, where the drought of the West Coast has not let up and our lakes are dry and fewer people are around, but they've been trying to stick it out, and I'm kind of interested. I'm curious to see what's going to happen if they're going to try to move elsewhere or stick around.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some. I just pasted the whole chat, didn't I? No, I didn't. Okay, I'm just trying to get some into a different Word doc so we can keep up.
So let us know how you did, any favorite sentences, and we will shout some out.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what you guys did.
Dave Gray got 200 words exactly. Oh. Good job. Hi, Hannah, but Hannah Wallach. Oh, what? I don't know how to pronounce your last name.
Wolvac?
That's a Y.
Oh.
I don't know. Okay, but we're talking to you. So you got about 300 words, and her favorite line was, Tina set the half-full glass of water down and continued to stare at me as if I was a ghost and she was trying to figure out if I was real or not. Oh. That actually fits into our coffee break, which we're getting into next. Yeah. Sierra Offutt said he dropped the last few feet down the ladder. He could feel the chill of the concrete floor through his shoes and pulled his coat more tightly around his waist, clenching his hands in the pockets. And Lexi Fisher, nice to see you again, got 170 words, if I can find it. There we go, slowly but surely. I just don't want to copy everything.
Yeah.
It disappeared.
That's all right.
Rebecca Sparks at 148 words said her declaration would have had more effect if Genevieve had been paying attention and if her finger was pointing more towards the darkened post office they were currently passing. Oh, do you see any that catch your eye?
Let me see. So Rainbow Fishy got 209. Man, I don't know how you guys write more than 200 words. Oh, so Curlata, he or she wrote, even when the cherry blossoms were in full bloom, their heavy scent and the flowers rustling against the wind, Sayuki watch him. Interesting. I can smell them from here. Catherine Jackson is reminding everyone to back up your novels right now. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Blobby appreciates it too.
I run the NaNoWriMo customer service, so I do get the occasional very sad email asking us if we have anyone's novels, and we don't. So Please save your novels for yourself.
Every couple minutes. I have lost an entire. I write everything by hand first.
Yeah.
So like typing just directly on the computer is weird for me. And I had this folder. And it was a really cool folder. It was like one of the Choose Your Own Moods folder. So I had like that like spinning disc. And like 5 years worth of my novels in there.
Oh gosh.
And I had to run into the grocery store for something. And someone took my folder.
Oh.
And I cried.
Oh, I don't blame you. That's the worst.
I have not been able to move forward pretty much since because everything was in there. So I'm like rebuilding everything.
It's an opportunity to rebuild.
Yeah.
That is the good thing. If you lose everything, then you can always try to make it again. But yeah, it's
Alex
tough.
Owen writes on Google Doc. Or Drive.
It's a very common method, and I think really, really helpful.
Yeah, since everything saves automatically.
Yeah, everything saves automatically. It's saved on the cloud. And also, it's in our Young Writers Program classrooms. We have a lot of students writing on Google Docs, and they'll share it with their whole class or with their teachers, and then they can sort of give and get feedback and encouragement, and it's been really fun for them. So that might also be something you want to try.
That sounds... Ever since like Google Docs entered my life, it's been so much easier.
It's pretty revolutionary.
We're gonna go into our coffee break.
Yeah.
So coffee breaks is like our time to like play games and chat and grab coffee, obviously, or if you need to go to the bathroom and grab food, this is the time to do that.
Cool.
So for today, we have our blanket and Blobby and our NaNoBird representatives, and we want you guys to tell us a ghost story. I don't know if you guys want to try to do it line by line. It might be difficult with the live chat, or if you want to write one of your own. We won't be silent for this, so it won't be like a prompt. But if you want to share it in the comments after the live stream, that works too. But bonus points if you keep it within like a summer camp setting. And I mean, NaNoBird and Blobby are always welcome.
Scary summer camps. He's I don't know how he would fare fighting against the bad guys, but he's a pretty fun companion, I'll say that.
I just really, like I said this I think last week, but I want to get him a bow tie. I don't know if he has enough neck.
He doesn't have much neck. He's all body.
Yeah.
He's all body. Okay. Do you want to start off?
I mean, if we wanted to, do we want to try to do it line by line? So we'll try to do it line by line. Yes. It was a dark and stormy night.
Oh, it was a dark and stormy night. No one could sleep. I'm stealing this from a play.
No one has entered anything yet, so we'll keep going. Right. Everyone was sitting around the campfire. Roasting s'mores when they heard a sound in the bushes.
And they dropped all of their s'mores into the fire, and it was the worst camping experience ever. The end. It's my scary story.
That is terrifying. Like all that chocolate wasted.
All of it. The marshmallows, the graham cracker.
Yeah.
And the chocolate.
Just all of it.
It's
sad.
Yeah, sad and scary.
Were you ever told any
scary stories
when you were a kid that like?
Oh, I think anyone who kind of grew up in the 90s and maybe like the late 80s, early 90s, there was this one like scary story book. I forget what it was called, but I just remember this one story about a boy and a girl, and they were in love, and the girl had a ribbon around her neck, and the boy was always like, why do you wear that? And she was like, I'll tell you one day, and they get married, and then she tells him, and she takes it off, and her head falls off.
Was that in Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I read like all of those. Like they terrified me. Like those illustrations, like
really creepy, creepy.
Still.
Yeah, and there was the one about the little girl who ate like the butter sandwiches, and she just had like butter and cheese all over her hands, and then she died, and when she was a ghost, she had the butter and the cheese all over her hands, and that just bothered me.
There was one, actually, someone mentioned Goosebumps story, the lake one, that girl on the lake that would like take people down, drowning them, and that image is stuck in my head.
Yeah, there was also, I read a lot of the Fear Street books, which were also R.L. Stine, but they weren't Goosebumps. And there was one, it was like a Christmas series, and this lady was working at a mall during Christmas, and there was like an evil Santa that I think was murdering people. I'm probably getting that all wrong, but I read all of those books. They were great.
A lot of people.
Yeah, the ribbon story, right? It's like burned into my memory, and I'll never forget it. It I don't know why it bothers me so much. I think like maybe that dude should have just let it go, just accept that she's wearing the ribbon, and then she could have lived.
Yeah. Alternate ending.
Yeah. Like, and he didn't care that she was wearing a ribbon at all, and they lived happily ever after the end.
That works for me. But so we're getting about 20 minutes till the end.
Okay, should we roll
we should go into the next
third prompt.
Word sprint.
Yeah.
Next word sprint. If you guys have more scary stories, please share them in the comments below the video, because the chat clears at the end.
Yeah,
I want to know.
It's a fresh start. Okay, so are you guys ready for word sprint number 3? Should we jump on into it?
Let's jump into it.
So this time we're going to go more, we're going to really hone in on the specifics of your novel, and we're going to talk a little bit about word choice. So word choice, it's a great way to set the scene and the tone of your story. So it can sort of be the difference between these lovely sentences that Hannah wrote out for us. So the first one is, Jane took a pleasant stroll down the winding cobblestone path, bordered by lush green trees, as a light breeze sifted through her hair, versus Jane felt beads of sweat forming on her forehead as she reached up to shield herself from the scorching ball of fire while she tried to make it down the dusty, deserted pathway.
I wish I could take credit for those sentences. That was actually Amon. She's not here today.
Thanks, Amon. We'll thank her tomorrow. You guys, tomorrow it'll be Hannah and Iman, so back to the full-on intern virtual writing experience.
You can thank her tomorrow.
You can thank her tomorrow. So just both of those sentences, they're saying the exact same thing, but they're doing it in very different ways, and you get a very different feeling from it. So our prompt for you is to put your characters in a setting described by these 3 words: icy, peculiar, and lumpy.
Those are very specific words.
Very specific, very different.
I think they can be used to describe more than just surroundings. Yeah.
Maybe something your character's experiencing at that moment. But
we were going to do 7 minutes, but let's do 5 this time.
This is a short one, 5 minutes,
and we'll
3 words. Icy, peculiar, and lumpy. Try to fit those into your story if you want to. You don't have to.
Otherwise, word counts are appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll start now.
Looks like we have about a minute left.
Yeah, so if you want to share your favorite line, go ahead. I just included Blobby in mine.
Ooh. Is he the lumpy one?
He is lumpy, but it's really weird and specific. That is time if you want to finish up what you're writing. I wrote 91 words.
I got 96.
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
But, so I used Blobby as like a description for my lumpy gravy and what my character is about to try and eat. It's not probably edible.
Uh-oh. I also used a beverage. I have a peculiar lemonade in my story. You can guess what might be in it. Let's see. What did everybody else come up with?
Angel Music 997 hit 105 words. Welcome to the Many Words Club.
Nice.
Let's
see.
I'm trying to get people who haven't read out, but everyone's doing so well.
Yeah.
There we go. No, just kidding.
So Lily Swan, so she shared her favorite line. When the Federation is looking for people to recruit, they take the children that have been forgotten by time. Oh. And yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's intense.
There's definitely a precedent for that. Like orphans that have to do the drums on the front lines of Revolutionary Battle. That's what that reminds me of.
Alex Owen went to 136 words.
Nice.
And said, did this man have to have an obsession with dogs? Maggie saw dog paintings, a lumpy stuffed dog. Now that was scary. A stuffed dog staring down at her with those icy, beady little eyes.
Oh.
I like that description a lot. I never thought of like describing beady eyes as icy. Yeah. Madeline Hatter Glover said, he set an icy hand on each of my shoulders and looked at me. I refused to let myself be afraid, but it was hard. He smiled, that same peculiar smile making my throat feel lumpy with the need to scream. Very good.
That was a really good incorporation of those 3 words.
Yeah. So, we're nearing the end. We'll move on to our last words for of the day.
Yeah.
There's no place like home.
Not really.
Unless you move a lot like me, and then there's not really a home. The home has a different definition to people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like writing in their own home. Their characters either love home or hate home. So we want you to imagine your character's home. Would they be living in a suburban home, a mansion, a teeny tiny or a cramped apartment in the city? Over a bar like I live. Describe your character's home to us. Write down the kind of furnishings or decorations he or she would have. We're going to give you, I guess,
5 minutes?
5 minutes,
yeah.
And then we'll read like 1 or 2 of them out.
Yeah.
And we'll give you a 1 minute warning. Start now. We have about a minute left. You want to finish up your sentence, what you're working on, share your favorite line in the live chat. I'll read a couple out. And that is time. Finish up your sentences.
I liked that prompt.
I did too.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple people that were copying.
Cool.
So we can read it out easier.
Yeah. I just realized I got a total of 608 words in this 1 hour.
I have no idea. I didn't even look. I got 92 words this last sprint.
Nice.
So Haley T90, nice to see you again, got 180 words.
Nice.
She said, when I was in elementary school, I used to tell my friends that our house burned down and we were just living with a family friend in a trailer. Although her family had always lived in the trailer.
That's interesting. I like that you've mixed up the variety of ways one can feel about one's home, and maybe sometimes if your character's home doesn't fit in with the setting of their fellow characters, maybe they feel a little embarrassed by it, and that's definitely an interesting place to write from.
Yeah, and it happens. Tony Gatecliff said, Mads glanced up at the clock on the wall and watched as the second hand ticked backwards towards 12. It was certainly an odd clock, but it had never once told the wrong time.
Oh.
Got 148 words during that word sprint. Catherine Jackson wrote over 800 words total for this hour.
Wow.
Good job.
Nice.
And our last one we're going to read out, Pamela Berries. I got 177 words for this sprint. Taylor padded over to the cage in Fluffy's soft feet across the laminate floor and opened up the bird cage so that she could pet the bird, who still had no name.
Still had
Is that
no
a
name.
tribute to NaNoBird?
Maybe.
I have a feeling a lot of Blobby and NaNoBird references.
There have been a lot of birds in a lot of your sentences, so perhaps that is why.
Adara Verena got 1,411 words.
Woo!
Done during the session. Good job.
Man, so depending on your word count goal, if you're going for the full 50K, you only need about 200 more words, then you're done for the day.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for you to up your word count, unless you're already really high up. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be.
So,
awesome.
That's it for today.
That's it. That was fun, guys.
It was really fast.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me, Hannah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, that was really quick. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out and writing with us this lovely Tuesday afternoon or evening or morning, depending on where you are.
We always love having you here.
Yeah, and so as you know, tomorrow, or as you maybe don't know, tomorrow there will be another virtual write-in promptly at 11 a.m. Pacific time with the lovely Hannah and Iman, our two current interns for this session.
We will be doing ours on dialogue tomorrow. So if you're having problems,
I have problems with dialogue.
I do too. So tomorrow will be the day for that.
I'm excited for your sage advice.
If you guys have suggestions for future virtual write-ins or word sprints, please leave them in the comments, not the chat.
Down below.
So we can actually see them.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll leave you with another exercise to practice for next time. So make a list of settings for you to use in the future. You know, it could be like a bowling alley, barbershop, just an entire list of places. Pick one to include in your next chapter or scene, or just keep the list for when you get stuck. And then our optional exercise, write a homage to Blobby and NaNoWriMo and share it in the comments. So we'll read some of those out tomorrow.
Exciting stuff. So yeah, share them below. We want to read them.
We do. We love going through and reading them. But yeah, so that's it for today.
Yeah, thanks guys.
All right.
Until next time.
Oh, blanket's in the way.
Yeah, here. I got it. And now you're going to get really close to my face. Bye.
Bye.